Shalom to you, giving all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh Bashem El Shai, Bashem HaKadosh, and giving double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone, who will. These are salutations to elect. Shem Mouthpiece, mouthpiece from the Great Millstone, Plaintables Camp in Philadelphia. And with another we lesson in the spirit, current events. And as you can see, today is currently, October the 18th. Hopefully you're the destruction of the rogue man Ishashua out of Esau Edom. Okay. And the destruction judgment of him and the deliverance of Jacob. Salvation for the elect of the nation of Israel. You have it here in Philadelphia. They have a biggie event again, which is a protest, okay, which is called No Kings protest, all right, which I believe we called it the last year. I was I had an encounter with an older liberal and a younger liberal in mass, and they are all, had the alphabet support and just were trying to recruit, so as they would try to make it, young so-called black men and, different people against, as they would say, this asses, with a F, regime and such under Donald Trump and wanting him out of there. Okay.
We are around Aikens Oval right now, right next to the parkway. Let's turn the camera around so you can see what we are seeing. Right now, these roads are open. We're not having any trouble getting around, but things are going to look a lot different tomorrow morning when these roads are closed and a lot of people show up. And this Philly bike ride, that's just the first big event of the day.
Here I am preparing for my first Philly bike ride, and for sure it won't be my last.
Ahead of the Philly bike ride, Kim Harris getting ready for her first ride, while Doretta Ellington is looking forward to a return. What did you like about last year?
You get a chance to see all the beautiful monuments in a slower pace because you usually drive past them quickly and don't get to take in the beauty of the buildings.
Yeah.
Which again, this is just the bread, the circus, and most people are distracted in these times, okay? And we have it that this is Matthew chapter 24 and 37. It says, but I'll start at verse 35. It says, no, 34 actually. It says 24 and 34, verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all things be fulfilled. Okay? And that would have to mean that this generation will be the same generation as 2,000 years ago. This came back in a reincarnation. It says, heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. Okay? And you have to understand the Lord's words. They're faithful and they're true. All right. You don't have to question whether the Lord's word is not going to come to pass. It shall. Okay. Though it tarry, wait for it, as it told you in Habakkuk. It says, O Yahweh, thou art my power. I will exalt thee. I will praise thy name, for thou hast done wonderful things. Thy counsels of old are faithfulness and truth. Okay? The Lord's word is faithfulness and truth. Okay? So you can best believe the Lord making good on his word. You have it with even, the other big events is the progression of that micro C hip. All right? You have it with... brothers had put out an article or looked at an article. I gotta check it out and find it by this I believe writer Jacob M. Thompson. Klaus Schwab, which is a leader of the World Economic Community, says people's brains will be microchipped by 2026. Now you got a lot of major prophecies about to be fulfilled and being fulfilled at this time. All right, and we're in the early stages of Jacob trouble. All right, so times is short. All right, going back, it says, but of that day and hour knoweth no man, not the angels or heaven, but my Father only. All right, giving also a separation between Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. All right, two separate entities. The Most High is a separate entity from the Most High's only begotten Son. Okay, though they are in agreement and union, they're still two separate entities. Okay, is how would he not know the time if you're the same entity? But as the days of Noah, were, so shall also the coming of Son of Man be. Okay, and many people in the times of Noah was doing all types of folly, and the Lord, repented that He put man on the earth. So then the Lord brought the flood. Okay, and this place is going to end with the flood by fire. All right, the nuclear fire and fire from the vehicles, the celestial vehicles that the Lord returned back in. Okay, with the angels, which are the chariots of Israel. Okay, to bring destruction and also salvation. Okay, salvation for the elect and destruction to Babylon the Great, America, and the places that are slated to be cleansed by fire. Whereas in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. All right, and that's what we got to understand. The same type spirit is out there. That complacency spirit will be out there during the times that the Lord will be returning in. Okay, people doing bike rides and big events. They're trying to buy the shirts. You got Transformer, all right, going on.
Bike ride kicks off Saturday morning at 7:30 and winds along a course organizers say you can take your time on.
Tomorrow we will be taking over the streets of downtown Philly.
Yeah, I don't even know what I don't know what that is. Hold up.
20 miles to be completely car-free, while about over 6,000 riders are going to come out here, and they are going to take to the streets, cruising at their own pace through some of the city's most iconic sites.
Christian Del Ferraro is Chief Marketing Officer with Philly Bike Ride.
It's really meant to be enjoyed at your
So Christian Del Ferraro.
Your own pace and take in the sun.
All right, Christian Del Ferraro. All right, like I said, I don't know. Okay. You never know these days, but that's the person. All right. Organizing these different bike rides and such. All right. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is really these that too, and the big protests.
Stop and enjoy some of the local music we have along the route.
And people will walk from City Hall to in place this summer at the Art Museum steps. This time, people will walk from Valley. A similar event took place this summer at the Art Museum steps. This time, people will walk from City Hall to Independence Mall or just meet in Old City.
Is the message the same, or is it new? Good question. Some new things are happening with the administration in Washington, so those newer things will certainly be addressed. As far as firing federal workers more and more during the shutdown itself, what it's doing to everyone. The cuts in educational funding are kind of new. We have people speaking to that.
Some things are the same from the June rally.
Our message is, again, we're not backing down.
You got that going on and such. And you just got last days
The
activity.
government shutdown has been going on since October 1st, and so
Got a government shutdown. It's like 18 days in.
as the blame game between Democrats and Republicans.
And like what y'all gotta understand is y'all government is failing you, okay? And they're not for your best interests. All right? And you're gonna trust in Egypt, and that's gonna be your shame. All right, in these times, okay? This is Isaiah 32. All right, it says, in verse 5, the vile person shall no more be called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful. Okay, and we know, the scripture talk about how the roguemen are viler than the earth. You read in Job 30. All right, you have it with, Nero 47. How he acts. Okay, a lot of you individuals that trusted in is different, and reformations that he want to do for the system are actually gonna see that a lot of the different programs and stuff that may have even afforded you or granted you different funding is no longer going to be there. Okay, and he's going against many of your constitutional rights. It says, for the vile person will speak failingly, and in his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy and utter error against the Lord Yahweh, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. All right, you have it with a lot of people who are dependent on Illinois, that they depended on the food stamps, about to be cut off, slated to be cut off November the 1st. Okay, November the 1st. Potential loss of Illinois residents could potentially lose.
2 weeks, the Illinois Department of Human Services says SNAP benefits are also set to end November 1st if the government does not reopen. 1.9 million people in Illinois use the federally funded program to help with groceries. The state says that's equal to $350 million in monthly benefits, and that they do not have the budget to backfill those funds.
So they can't. The state government can't keep that up. $350 million monthly. All right, from the federal government. Okay, so they can't afford that. Okay, from the state government, even the federal government can't afford that. They already done, de-dollarized this place. The buying power of the dollar has increased so much. Okay, so, you don't have it where this stuff can continue just to be kicked down the road. All right, we're in a time of, complete cutting and complete suffering for the wicked. All right, wicked of our people, the heathen. All right, the chief heathen. All right. Yeah, it says the instruments also of the churl. All right, the instrument also of the churl are evil. He devises wicked devices, these wicked plots to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speak it right. Okay. And like I said, America, this goes into also the destruction, with Babylon the Great, America, what is coming with. All right. It's going to come with a lot of sorrow. All right. In Isaiah 32. Okay. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. All right. These programs going to be through. Okay. Here in Babylon the Great, America. And a lot of people, Israelites are going to suffer. All right. So, as we see, it's a lot of, judgment, going on. And we got big prophecies. 2026, if it's October the 18th, November is only about 2 weeks away. Okay. Then December, January 1st. Okay. That's your new year in Adawam time, or the rogue man's time. Okay. You don't have much long in this captivity. You even have it with Elon Musk. They have it, Elon Musk, over 1,000 humans will with neural C-hip implants in 2026 is also feasible. Okay, you know, you go into feasible, man. That's definitely as you go into possible. All right, or practical to do. All right, so you know that's what it is all about. You know, it's about prophecy. You know, the Lord fulfilling His word. You know, which is not coming back void. Okay, again, Habakkuk the second chapter says, for the vision is yet for appointed times, verse 3. But at the end it shall speak and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. All right, so, you know, it's not going to tarry. You know, we're in the time of the fulfillment of these prophecies, okay? You know, the protests, all right, the earthquakes, diverse places, you know, the Egyptian versus the Egyptian, American versus American, all of that is all coming, you know, to its fulfillment. You know, ultimately changing the system to being a completely digital system, you know, ran by the use of a device within the bodies, which then will, you know, pretty much authorize you, you know, or not authorize you to be able to purchase things and do your normal thing, all right, as you've been doing within the system. All right, so that's that through the spirit. Just a quick, you know, kind of like a news and prophecy. So shalom to the elect. Yahweh Shem Shai B'Shem Thumb to the elect. Bless yous out there of the election. Shalom.